So what is Youth with a Mission? Youth with a Mission, or YWAM, is a global movement of Christians dedicated to knowing God and making God known. YWAM started in 1960 as a way to get young people involved in missions. We still do that today, but we're involved in every kind of outreach, every kind of ministry that you could imagine. We currently have over 18,000 staff with locations in over 180 countries. YWAM's many ministries fit into three major categories: evangelism, training, and mercy ministries. We do evangelism because we believe that everyone in the world has the right to hear the message of Jesus. We do training to equip people to use their unique calling to do that. And everyone in Youth with a Mission does an intensive half-year discipleship course called the Discipleship Training School. Our third focus is mercy ministries, where our staff are giving hope to the poor, sick, and those suffering from injustice. YWAM has a place for everyone and endless opportunities. You can find out more about what we're doing and ways to get involved at our website.
Hello, and welcome to our first edition of MMC, Mobile Mission Connection.
Yeah? Who are you?
And my name is Marcus. I am from Denmark, and
my name is Ulrik, and I'm also from Denmark.
Yes, and we are here in Denmark in our caravan. And as you might have noticed, our theme for today is Brazil, or our guest speaker at least is from Brazil. And yeah, we're very excited to have him here, and I think it's going to be exciting to hear what he has to share today. Yes.
And we also want to speak about missions, because Youth for the Mission is a mission movement. So I think we will start with watching a video that gives a lot of understanding about missions, images that was from all over the world.
Yeah, a good mission input.
Called I Am a Missionary.
In the beginning, God created man in his own image. He walked with man in the cool of Eden, but sin interrupted that union. So God created the missionary. God said, I need someone willing to say no to the status quo, no to the dream of wealth, leave their families to fly to a distant land, and learn a language they have never heard, ride in cramped buses on backs of camels, someone who would sleep anywhere, eat anything, bear the heat, and fight the freeze with a smile on their face, just to take the gospel to a people not their own. So God created the missionary. God said, because the harvest is plentiful, I need someone ready to sow the seed, to plow the ground, water the seed, and reap the harvest which is ripe. Someone to go and train, to multiply the crops, and to answer the call and pay the price. So God created the missionary. God said, I need someone who is a radical servant of all, taking the lowliest job, washing the feet of the poor, caring for the sick, and cleaning their wounds. I need someone to visit the prisoner, care for the widow and the orphan, to sit in the dust with a child and tell them that they are loved. So God made a missionary. God said he needed someone who would believe that blind eyes could see and lame feet could walk and that the dead could live again. Someone who would pray long hours and intercede through the night with wordless groans of petition so that one soul might be saved. God said, I need someone honest and brave, full of grace, mercy, and compassion, free from fear and passivity, walking in true identity, someone burning with love and girded with truth, someone who radiantly reflects God's glory. So God made a missionary. God said, I need someone who would say yes before they were asked, someone who would go to distant islands, barren deserts, inner cities, closed nations, next-door neighbors, and prestigious universities to reach the unreached. Who would hike any mountain and endure any obstacle? Because how will they believe in him of whom they have never heard? How will they hear unless someone preaches? And how will they preach unless they are sent? So God made the missionary.
Wow, what a great movie! I just love to watch this clip of of missionaries going out. One of the things I really enjoy about this clip is also that it talks about all these different kind of missions that there can be. I myself have been on a trip to Nepal. Visiting villages, going out far, freezing my feet, but still doing it with a smile. And it was a really good time being out, and I love to do that. Now I want to introduce another person, Andreas, which has also been in missions. And we asked if he wanted to join and share a bit about what he has done on his mission trip and what he does today. So yeah, Andreas, are you ready?
My name is Andreas, and I live in Aalborg, and I've done BTS in 2017 in Townsville, and this theme is about missions and doing God's work, and for me it has been through magic and the word of God is really, really crazy because it can set hearts on fire. I want to show you a magic trick with 3 cards. We have the 10 of spades, the king of hearts, and the 2 of clubs. And if we say the 10 of spades, that could be the 10 commandments. And then we have the King of Hearts and the Old and the New Testament. So if we should point where the King of Hearts is, it should be in the middle. And yes, it is. If we take that and put it down here on the computer, this way, I should still have the Old and the New Testament and the 10 of spades. And then here I should have the King of Hearts. And yes, I have the king of my heart. So this is tricks and fun stuff I have used to do mission work and to preach the gospel with King's Kids in Denmark, and also in Papua New Guinea with Townsville and my DTS. And we also used balloons. So you can blow up in a balloon and you would have 200 people like this. So that's how I've used the things I got from God that He gave to me. So yeah, I was asked to just say a little, and yeah, Is that what you was thinking, Ulrich, or do you want a little balloon animal? Then let me know.
Please give us a balloon animal. We want that.
Okay, you will get a balloon animal then. I was actually told to on my DTS not to bring the magic stuff because people would think it was black magic. But I thought God gave this opportunity to me and this talent to me, so I used it, and it was really good that I brought it with me. So if we have a talent and God gave it to us, we should use it no matter what. So I would try to make this one is called a racket mouse, and then it goes away.
Wow, that's good.
Wow, thank you, Andreas. So cool. And yeah, discipleship training school is really good. I did one myself at DTS. Mine was in Paris, not in Australia. A bit colder, not as hot, I guess. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Andreas, and telling your story about how, yeah, we can use the gifts and the talents that we've been given. I think that's really good to hear that, yeah, that you used some of the things that God had given you to reach out to people, and how that can really be a strength, even when some people don't see it as a strength. So I think that's really good.
Yeah, and please go on YWAM.dk and have a look. There's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah. And from one amazing man to another, I think
Me?
you know. No, you not. You are also amazing, all right?
Thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
But you know the next speaker a bit better than me.
I know him, yeah. Yeah, I would like to introduce the next speaker. He's really dear to me because I met him in '98. I met him when I was leading the street team of Youth for the Mission in Recife, Brazil. I met him, he was sniffing glue, and yeah, he was not in really good shape when I met him, but now he is in a really good shape, and I would love you guys to get to know him a bit. So he'll tell his story. We have taped it because we want to be sure that everything is easy to understand. So we have put subtitles under in English, so it'll be easy. So he has 13 minutes. He will share shortly his life story. And afterwards, we will be open to anybody have questions or anything. He'll be with us live after the video. But he's one of my heroes because I know, working with several street children, I know how hard it is for them actually to go all the way. So I'm so proud of Cicero. I'm so glad when I was at his wedding and his family. So I'm with great joy, I'll just introduce Cicero to you. So now we'll start with seeing his video, eh?
Amigos, o meu nome é Cícero Félix e irei contar para vocês um pouco da minha história, de como Deus transformou a minha vida através da obediência de missionários. Bom, eu nasci em uma cidade chamada Cortês, se localiza no interior aqui de Pernambuco, e onde morava ali com meu pai, minha mãe e os meus 6 irmãos. A minha mãe é dona de casa, né? E o meu pai trabalhava no corte de cana-de-açúcar. E o meu pai, quando recebia o dinheiro do salário, né, o salário dele, ele usava para prostituição e compra de bebidas alcoólicas. E com isso passávamos muita dificuldade, muitas vezes não tínhamos o que comer. E a minha mãe, ela fazia serviço na casa dos vizinhos de limpeza, de lavar roupas, para poder, em troca de comidas. E com isso íamos sobrevivendo. Porém, o meu pai, quando chegava em casa alcoolizado, ele agredia fisicamente a minha mãe e os meus irmãos. Eu tinha apenas 4 anos de idade e não entendia o porquê ele fazia aquilo. Porém, eu sentia muito medo do meu pai. E um certo dia, ele se envolveu em uma briga e com isso ele foi assassinado. A minha mãe ficou desesperada e meus irmãos também. E com o dinheiro da minha mãe começou a fazer com os serviços, ela começou a fazer em troca de dinheiro agora, né, para poder comprar passagens e viajarmos para a capital, Recife, e conseguirmos esse dinheiro. Então, com o dinheiro do trabalho, aí fomos morar na capital, Recife, onde ali ficamos na casa de uma amiga da minha mãe, em um pequeno espaço, até conseguirmos um lugar para poder morar. Um amigo do bairro comentou que ali próximo estava sendo invadido, né, um terreno. As pessoas estavam invadindo o terreno. E os meus irmãos mais velhos, eles foram lá para conseguir algum espaço, né, algum terreno para a gente construir a nossa casa. E eles conseguiram esse terreno. E depois disso eles começaram a ir no lixão para conseguir no lixo, né, para conseguir madeiras e telhas, pedaços de telhas e alguma coisa, né, para construir uma casa, um barraco, né, a gente chama de barraco. Então eles conseguiram construir, terminaram esse barraco e fomos morar nesse espaço, né, não tinha piso, não tinha banheiro, mas ali era o nosso lar, era o nosso conforto, né? E também começaram a procurar emprego, né, no bairro, mas não conseguiram porque nenhum dos meus irmãos sabiam ler nem escrever e nem a minha mãe. Então começaram a ir para o lixão, né? Um amigo falou que tinha um lixão próximo onde tinha alimentos que eram jogados, né, que estavam vencidos, porém dava para aproveitar. E ali começamos a sobreviver através do alimento que era jogado no lixo e através também de reciclagem, né, onde recolhíamos garrafas plásticas de alumínio para poder vender e conseguir o dinheiro para comprar o alimento. A minha mãe, ela começou a fazer serviço na casa de vizinho, de limpeza e lavar roupa, para poder também em troca de alimentos, para podermos, né, sobreviver. A minha mãe era uma pessoa muito criativa, né? Ela recolhia frutas e verduras que eram descartadas na feira e ela cortava a parte que estava, né, ruim, jogava fora, e a parte que estava boa ela recolhia e fazia sopa e fazia uns alimentos muito gostosos para a gente. Então a minha mãe era uma pessoa muito criativa, né? Porém, infelizmente, com o tempo a minha mãe ela começou a entrar no alcoolismo, né? Creio que ela não suportou a pressão de criar 6 filhos e começou a beber todos os dias, né? Ela tomava muito uma bebida chamada cachaça todos os dias. E então eu lembro que na época eu já tinha uns 7 anos de idade, né, quando ela entrou no alcoolismo. E eu e meu irmão menor, né, o meu irmão mais novo, né, o Flávio, a gente ficou solto, né, a gente não tinha mais quem cuidar de nós. Os meus irmãos maiores uns já começaram a constituir família, né, uns já começaram a constituir família, e a gente não tinha mais alguém para cuidar, né. Então começamos a sair junto com meus irmãos, os meus irmãos que ainda moravam com a gente, para pedir esmola em alguns lugares, né, em bairros próximos, para poder ajudar, né, para poder ajudar com alimentos, né, para podermos sobreviver, no caso. Então nesse processo eu comecei a conhecer, né, alguns meninos de rua, algumas crianças que moravam na rua. E ali eu comecei a fazer amizade com eles e eles me convidaram, né? Perguntaram se eu queria se juntar ao grupo deles para morar na rua. A princípio eu fiquei com muito medo, mas depois comecei a gostar de brincar, né? Como toda criança, para mim ali era uma brincadeira, né? Eu tinha apenas 7 anos e comecei a juntar com eles. Eles começaram a me ensinar como dormir na rua, né? Qual era o tipo de colchão, né? Que era o papelão, como era para conseguir comida nos restaurantes, né? E comecei também a aprender os locais mais seguros para dormir, os horários, né? Que geralmente a gente dorme mais durante o dia e à noite, né? A gente não dorme por causa do perigo. E então comecei a aprender, né? E nesse processo de aprender a vida na rua, fui apresentado à droga, né? A cola. A primeira droga que eu usei foi cola, né? Uma cola de sapateiro. Então eu cheirava essa cola e para isso, né, eu sentia um prazer momentâneo ali. Então eu pensava naquele momento que aquilo era o bom para mim, né? Porque eu sentia muita dor de ver a minha mãe naquela situação de alcoolismo, né? Muitas vezes ela estava no bar, no chão, e então era uma coisa muito difícil para mim, né? De lembrar também que eu não tinha um pai, e meus irmãos também que já estavam encaminhando para a droga, e eu não entendia muito, né? Então eu queria anestesiar aquilo, né? Então essa droga veio e eu pensava que ali iria me ajudar naquele momento, né? Então eu sentia isso. Então eu comecei a usar essa cola, né, de sapateiro, e com o tempo fui aprendendo também a usar maconha, né? A usar maconha, e comecei a aprender a fazer furtos, né? Para poder manter o meu vício, né? Fazer furtos em algumas casas onde eu roubava tênis e outras coisas para poder trocar, né, por droga. E certo dia eu lembro que eu estava em cima de uma parada de ônibus, dormindo, né? Tava chovendo muito, e eu olhei para o céu assim e eu perguntei para Deus, né? Deus, por que eu nasci assim, nessa família? Porque eu nasci nessa condição, eu não queria aquela vida para mim, eu queria uma vida melhor, né? Mas no momento eu não tive resposta, né? Então eu pedi ali naquela noite o milagre de Deus na minha vida, né? Eu não queria morrer, porque nesse decorrer da rua, dos momentos que eu estava na rua, alguns amigos lá de rua, eu presenciei muitos sendo assassinados do meu lado, né? E muitos morrendo de overdose ou atropelados, né? Devido ao uso excessivo de drogas, né? Então ficava na rua ali, o carro vinha e atropelava. Amigos também que sumiram, né? Naquele tempo que eu estava na rua, década de 90, sumiu muitos amigos de rua ali, e o governo também não tem essa preocupação de saber para onde foi o que aconteceu, né? Porque eram pessoas de rua, mas assim não tinha muito valor, né? Então eu me sentia assim sozinho, na verdade, né? E em que a qualquer momento eu poderia morrer, eu poderia perder a minha vida. Né? Eu sabia, né? Eu lembrava que eu digo, Deus, eu quero chegar pelo menos até os 18 anos, né? Então eu pedi um milagre de Deus, porque no fundo eu não queria aquela vida para mim, né? E eu lembro que depois dessa oração que eu fiz aí, nem sabia que era oração, nesse tempo que eu tive, no dia seguinte eu avistei ali na praça de Boa Viagem um grupo de, né, chamar de gringos, né, um grupo diferente, onde ali eles estavam com meus amigos, né, conversando, brincando, jogando futebol, cantando, e eu achei aquilo bem interessante, né, porque eles tratavam meus amigos naturalmente, né, eles se importavam. Eu percebi que ali tinha uma amizade, tinha um ambiente muito leve, diferente, né, do que eu já tinha experimentado, né. Eu comecei a me aproximar daquele grupo, né, que era um grupo de missionários ali da Jocum. Eu nem sabia o que era Jocum, nem sabia o que era missionário, mas percebi que era um grupo diferente, e eles me convidaram para participar das atividades. Tinha histórias da Bíblia, tinha muitas atividades legais, né? Então eu achei muito assim interessante, e me aproximei deles e eles me perguntaram o meu nome, né? Eu achei aquilo muito legal. Eu me senti uma pessoa importante ali, né? Que eles valorizavam, né? Perguntavam o meu nome, qual é o meu sonho. Eu sempre gostei de futebol, né? E então foi acender uma chama da esperança no meu coração. E em um certo momento, né, eu comecei a visitar esses grupos uma vez na semana, eles tinham essa atividade, e um dia eles me perguntaram: Cícero, você quer sair da rua? Eu falei: nossa, é isso que eu estava esperando, né? E eu falei sim, né? E eu dei meu endereço. Nem endereço era, né? Referência, né? Uma referência que eu tinha, e de onde eu morava, né? E um certo dia eu tinha ido para minha casa, né? Eu tinha quebrado um braço lá, tinha tido algum problema, fui para casa e esse grupo chegou lá, né? Eles chegaram e no Fusca, né? Chegaram lá no Fusca me procurando, e pediram a minha mãe, né, se poderia me levar. Então ela falou que sim, eu quero que meu filho... Ela estava sóbria nesse dia, ela não tinha bebido. E ela falou: sim, eu quero que meu filho viva. Eu sei que comigo eu não tenho condições de criá-lo. Então eu queria também, eu falei que sim, eu quero ir. né? Eu já tinha ido para os outros abrigos, né? Para os outros abrigos. Eu fiquei com medo, mas eu sei que era um momento de mesmo, um momento, né? Um momento que eu tinha que aproveitar. E eu fui para casa Esperança e minha vida transformou, né? E ali eu aprendi a ler, né? Aprendi a escrever. Eu fui ali onde aceitei Jesus através de uma história da Bíblia, né? Davi e Golias. Eu falei para missionário, eu quero o Deus de Davi, né? Eu preciso desse Deus de Davi para minha vida. Então começou a nascer sonhos na minha vida, né? Então foi um lugar diferente, a Casa Esperança, que me ajudou muito na minha transformação, né? Então eu terminei o ensino médio, né? Depois da Casa Esperança eu fui morar com uma família, de onde fiquei por 9 anos, né? Uma família da Jucum, o Mate e a Júlio me ajudaram bastante, né? E muito importante nesse processo que eu nunca perdi a minha ligação com a minha família, né? Eles sempre fizeram questão que eu tivesse contato com a minha família biológica. Isso me ajudou bastante no processo, né? E depois dali eu fiz o curso missionário, né? A ETED, né? E me ajudou muito no meu chamado missionário, que é dar evangelismo através do esporte, né? Que hoje eu faço, coordeno o projeto Show de Bola. E depois disso eu casei, né? Não, casei, tenho um filho, o Davi, tem uma filhinha chamada Esther, né? Uma família maravilhosa. Eu estou cursando aqui, né, educação física, estou finalizando o curso, estou na universidade, né, terminando a educação física, e para mim é um milagre de Deus. E creio que é isso, gente, é algo assim que Deus só tem o começo, né, para fazer na minha vida. Então Deus tem muito para fazer através da sua vida, né? O meu sonho mesmo é sair às nações para contar o que Deus fez na minha vida, né? Eu já tenho feito isso, né? Uma parceria muito grande com a Dinamarca, aí, que tem me dado um suporte bastante, né? Então meu sonho é isso, palestrar na Europa, nos Estados Unidos, em vários lugares que Deus abrir as portas para falar do milagre de Deus, né? Do milagre, o que Ele tem feito em minha vida, como Ele pode nos usar para transformar vidas, né? Eu sou um retrato disso, do investimento, né? O quanto é importante. Então que Deus ele continue abençoando cada um de vocês. Ele tem um chamado na vida de cada um de vocês. Então não perca essa oportunidade. Ok, gente? Que Deus abençoe cada um de vocês. Muito obrigado por essa oportunidade. É isso, gente. É isso que eu queria compartilhar com vocês. Mas muito obrigado por isso. E continue orando por mim e por minha família. Nosso trabalho aqui no Brasil. Ok? Muito obrigado.
Okay, after being in Brazil, welcome back to Denmark in the caravan with the snakeskin in the back and the Brazilian flag. We are making it as Brazilian as we can here. For me, I have been many places with Cicero in Denmark, boarding schools, churches. We have been on the Faroe Islands to share about missions, but each time I hear him tell his story, it just warms me up on the inside, and it makes me understand that we all have a call for mission, and God can use all of us. Because I know that when I was 20, I took the trip to Brazil, and I told God, if you want me to stay more than a year, I stay, otherwise I'll go home. And I know how full of problems and how, what a guy I have been for all these years, but still God has used me to reach out to a guy like Cicero. And I know I'm just a small piece. There's been many people involved, as he shared. There's this family, Matti and Julie, he lived with them for 9 years. But Cicero himself, he, in a really, really quick step, he decided to follow Jesus, and he decided to let Jesus be the one that discipled him in this process. So he was only 12 years old when he told Jesus, I want you to lead my life. And that has done the difference, because I have seen many boys like Cicero that is not in the place he is now. They are not alive, or they are out in the streets again, because they did not decide to really wholehearted follow Jesus. That's one thing. Not that you cannot leave the streets if you don't follow Jesus. That's not what I'm saying. But for Cicero, I'm sure that did the biggest difference in his life. And I'm so thankful. And what an honor for us, Cicero, to have you present here. It will work in this way. If you have a question, you can write it on the chat, both in Zoom, but also here on Facebook. And we'll try to select some of these questions, and we'll pass them on to Cicero. And next to Cicero, we have Louise. and she's helping him with the translation. Cecil speaks a bit English, but he's a little unsecure if he understood, and also to pronounce the things and make us understand him. So he has a translator. So we need to, when we ask the questions, we need to give a little time for Louisa to tell Cicero the question, and then the other way back, and then we get the answer. Is that okay? So if you have a question, please just write it in the chat here. And I know Marcus has one.
Yes, I'd like to ask the first question to you, Cicero. And it's just like, if you can explain a bit more about what you're doing today, and where you are right now in your life, and what you're doing.
Hoje eu coordeno um projeto chamado Projeto Show de Bola.
Today I'm managing a project called Show de Bola.
E estou também na coordenação do Departamento de Esporte daqui da Jocum Recife. Departamento de Desenvolvimento Comunitário.
I'm also in charge of the Department of Community Development at the base here in YWAM Recife.
E em relação ao projeto Show de Bola, tem 14 anos que eu estou trabalhando nesse projeto.
And have been 14 years I'm working with the Show de Bola project.
Cool.
I also have a question for you, Cicero, because I have been around with you and I have heard many of the questions that's been asked to you. What was the hardest thing for you when you arrived in the Hope House?
Foi me sentir incluso, me sentir não merecedor, mas estar naquele lugar, foi me sentir parte daquele espaço, né? Eu não estava no meu ambiente.
The hardest thing for me was to feel that I was part of the environment, the new environment.
Eu não estava acostumado em receber muito amor.
I was not used to receive love.
Eu não estava acostumado em alguém fazer comida para mim.
I wasn't used to feel like people are cooking for me.
Eu não estava acostumado em a pessoa ser educada comigo.
I was not used to people being so polite.
Então eu não me senti parte, no começo eu não me senti parte daquele ambiente.
So in the beginning I didn't feel that I was part of that environment.
Então acho que foi mais de sair do meu mundo e entrar em outro mundo, né?
It was kind of leaving a world and going to a new world.
Wow, cool. Yeah, it must have been strange to come from such a hard environment into something so new. We have one question here. How is your mother doing now? And what about your family? Do you still talk with them? Yeah, you mentioned them a lot in the movie, I guess, in the beginning. So what is your relationship with your family now?
A minha mãe, ela não está mais no alcoolismo.
My mom is not drinking alcohol.
Tem uns 5 irmãos que eles não estão mais nas drogas, né?
Also, I have 5 siblings that they're not using drugs anymore.
Tem um irmão Flávio que ele está no presídio.
I have a brother that is in prison.
Desses 5 irmãos, eu tenho 3 que são evangélicas.
I have 3 of my siblings that they became Christians.
Então a minha família foi transformada, né?
So my family, I can say they were transformed.
Então eu sou muito grato a Deus por ter mudado a realidade da minha família.
I'm really thankful to God that He changed the reality of my family.
Então a minha mãe hoje ela mora numa casa muito melhor.
So today my mom lives in a good house.
Ela tem um salário dela.
She has her salary.
Meus irmãos também têm um emprego.
My siblings have their job.
E eu tenho uma boa relação com a minha família.
And I have a good relationship with my family.
Então eles vêm nos visitar.
Sometimes they come here to visit us.
E eu acho, como eu falei no vídeo, foi muito importante a Jocum, a Casa Esperança, não quebrar esse vínculo com a minha família, sempre me levar para visitar.
Like I said before in the video, I really appreciate that YWAM let us to have this connection with my family.
Quando eu morei com a família no MAT Julie Gallen, eles sempre convidavam minha família biológica para as festas de Natal, aniversário, tudo.
So, as I said in the video, I lived with Mati and Julie Gallen in their house, and special days of the year, Christmas, New Year, they would invite my family to come so we could celebrate together.
Very good. On mute. Okay. Very good. Another question, Cicero, for you is, when you left the street, did you kind of feel a desire to go back to the streets again at some point?
Sim, várias vezes,
Yes, many times,
principalmente quando eu era confrontado.
especially when I was confronted.
E, como eu falei, senti falta da droga também.
As I said also, I miss the drugs.
Então, teve um momento que eu até fui com o Reich na Casa Esperança, né?
I remember I went with Urak to the Hope House.
Que eu tinha levado alguma disciplina lá, por alguma coisa
I
que eu fiz.
got some discipline or something. I had done something bad and they got me in discipline.
Então, eu não concordei.
And I didn't agree with them.
E eu falei, eu quero minha liberdade, quero voltar para a rua.
And I told them I wanted my freedom. I want to go back to the street.
E ele falou, você é livre.
And he said to me, "You're free.
Eu te amo, mas você é livre.
I love you, but you're free.
Mas você sabe o que a rua oferece e o que aqui essa casa te oferece.
But you know what the street can offer to you and what the Hope House can offer.
Então eu cheguei até metade do caminho.
So I went half of the way.
Eu lembrei dos meus amigos sendo mortos.
And then I remember my friends being killed.
Lembrei da minha família. Que
I remembered my family as well.
E lembrei de tudo que a Casa Esperança estava me oferecendo.
And I thought about everything that the Hope House was offering.
Eu senti que ali era uma grande oportunidade.
And I felt the Hope House was a great opportunity to live.
Mas creio que foi muita oração, pessoas orando por mim.
But I also believe there was a lot of prayers. I knew there was a lot of people praying.
Porque era o processo de quebrar aquela raiz de rua, de gostar da rua.
And I knew it was a process to break that root of the street could offer.
Yeah, and we have another question here. What drove you, or how did you stay away from the streets and thought through the abstinence of drugs and things like that?
Eu gostava muito de plantar, né? Na Casa Esperança tem umas plantinhas lá.
At the Hope House, they have kind of a garden.
Mas o principal que me ajudou muito foi quando depois que eu aceitei a Jesus, depois que eu falei sim para Jesus, né?
But the main thing what really helped me was when I said yes to Jesus.
Então aquilo que me fortaleceu.
That was the reason that gave me strength.
Então eu parei de sentir gosto, vontade de usar droga.
And then I stopped having the desire to use drugs.
Porque, como eu falei, né? Como eu vi, assim, quando Deus ajudou Davi a derrubar um gigante.
Like I saw how David in the Bible, how God helped David to destroy Goliath.
E a droga para mim era um gigante, não um vício, né?
And the drugs for me was like Goliath.
Então eu falei, eu quero esse Deus de Davi.
It was like this addiction. So I said, I want the God of David.
Então essa foi a ferramenta, o principal, né?
That was the main tool that helped.
Okay, there's one more question. When you're not out playing football or soccer, as you are probably sick, what are you doing then? What do you do? What do you like to do, Cicero?
Eu gosto muito de conversar de conversar.
I love to talk to people.
Com pessoas que trabalham na área de desenvolvimento comunitário.
I love to talk with people that work with community development.
Assistir vídeos de transformação de vidas.
Watch videos of how lives are being transformed.
pessoas que são referência nessa área de fazer a diferença no lugar que ela passa, né?
People that are reference in the place they're in that makes a whole difference in the environment.
É um clima que eu sinto assim, eu gosto muito de eu sempre falo, eu assisti esses vídeos várias vezes, né? Mas eu me sinto muito bem.
My wife sometimes comment like, "Oh, you have watched this video many times, but I really like it."
Cool. We have a good question here as well. It's really admirable that you're looking forward to more of the blessings that there's in your life. But what is God telling you? What is God telling you that there is for the next years to come? More about what has God put on your heart for the future.
Eu estou finalizando, né, minha faculdade, da faculdade.
I'm about to finish my university.
Educação física.
The physical education.
E depois disso eu quero continuar o trabalho com palestras, não só aqui no Brasil, mas fora também.
I also want to speak around the world and other places.
Trabalhando, né, falando sobre pessoas em situação de rua e o processo de transformação, né?
Working about people that live in the street and about how to help them.
E iniciar um trabalho com eles através do esporte na Samoa.
I want to start a project in Samoa using sports.
Então, nós estamos em fase de preparação, né?
We are in the phase that we're getting prepared, getting ready for that.
Então, mas eu sei que eu quero aproveitar esses canais de comunicação para levar o reino de Deus.
But I want to use those channels to communicate the kingdom of God.
Wow, really good. There's one more question. Do you still meet with some of your old friends from the streets?
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Do you still meet up with some of your old friends from the streets?
Gente, assim, dos 12 que andavam comigo, creio que 2 estão vivos.
Unfortunately, 12 of the people that was with me on the street, I think just 2 of them are alive.
Então, o meu irmão que está vivo, ele está no presídio.
Is my brother that is in prison.
E tem um que era o líder do nosso grupo, né?
And there's somebody else that was the leader of our group.
Ele mora aqui no bairro próximo, mas graças a Deus ele tá muito bem. Ele está evangélico, ele tá bem, né?
And this guy, he lives in a close neighborhood here, and he became a Christian, and praise God, things got better.
Mas como eu falei antes, né? Infelizmente, as consequências da rua, a vida na rua é difícil, né?
But unfortunately, the consequences of living the life in the street is really hard.
Por isso que eu digo, eu sou um milagre de Deus.
That's why I always say that I'm a miracle of God.
Grato à obediência do missionário, porque senão eu não estava vivo.
And very thankful for the missionaries' obedience, otherwise I wouldn't be alive.
Isso é uma realidade, é um fato, né?
This is a reality, this is a fact.
There was another question earlier as well. What are your families? What do your families say that you're working with YWAM and the job that you have now?
Eles a minha família me chama de pastor da família, né?
My family, they call I'm the pastor of the family.
É uma responsabilidade grande.
It's a huge responsibility.
Mas assim, eles se sentem, eu vejo que eles se sentem muito orgulhosos, né?
But I feel they're really proud of me.
E para mim, como eu falei, é uma responsabilidade, né?
And as I said, there's a responsibility.
Então, eu peço muito sabedoria a Deus, o que fazer, o que falar.
So I'm often asking God for wisdom and what to do and what to say to them.
Então, eles se sentem muito representados, né?
So they feel like I'm representing them.
Cool. You have another question, Marcus? You had one, eh?
Yeah, I have one I wrote down for you as well. You say in the short video that you're lying on the top of a bus stop praying for a better life. And yeah, I was just wondering, like, what made you pray in that moment? Like, had you heard about Jesus before? Had you heard about God? Or like, why did you have that urge and that will to keep on pushing when you were on the street?
Foi a dor que eu sentia no peito, né?
Was the pain that I had in my chest.
Eu não entendi o porquê tanto sofrimento.
I couldn't understand why was so much suffering.
Então, eu queria ter resposta ao porquê daquilo, né?
I wanted an answer. Why is that?
Então, eu estava sentindo muita dor naquele momento.
And I was feeling a lot of pain.
Antes disso, eu pensava em tirar minha vida, não estava com vontade de viver.
Before this, I thought to take my life. I didn't have the desire to live.
Porque eu não sentia prazer em viver.
Because I didn't find like the pleasure in like to live.
Mas era uma briga interna. Ao mesmo tempo, eu queria viver.
But at the same time, I wanted to live. So it was kind of a fight in myself.
Então, ali foi um pedido mesmo de socorro.
So that prayer was kind of asking for help.
Eu estava sentindo uma dor imensa.
I was feeling huge pain.
Então foi isso que eu falei, um pedido de socorro para Deus mesmo.
So that was what I said to God, like, help me.
I have another question for you, Sister. A person is asking, do you talk with your own kids now today about the life you had when you were a child on the streets?
Tem o maiorzinho, né, o de 4 anos.
The oldest one is just 4 years old.
Eu não conto para ele assim minha história, né?
I don't tell him my story.
Mas eu conto algumas coisas, ó, papai não tinha muita comida, não tinha isso, então contando para ele, né, do que algumas coisas, né?
Sometimes I don't tell my whole story, but sometimes I'm like, but look, Dad in the past didn't have enough food to eat, like telling small pieces.
Né, aí a gente passa no Recife, às vezes com ele, tem pessoas na rua lá também.
So sometimes we're walking or go through MMC and then we see people living on the street.
Então, eu que no momento eu não falo ainda profundamente com ele.
So in the moment I don't really talk to him about because he's really young.
Mas a gente passa e eu explico para ele, né, para a gente cuidar das pessoas, para a gente orar pelas pessoas que estão na rua.
But when we see the people on the street, I tell him, look, we gotta care for them, take care of them, pray for them.
Então ele assiste, né? Eu participei de alguns programas de entrevista de televisão, que ele assiste algumas coisas.
So sometimes we see on TV some interview with people, so he can see something about that.
Então ainda estou, né?
Yeah, like he gave interview, so he could show his kids about it.
One more question I just have with that. Are you planning to tell your kids when they get older and more mature, where they can better understand? Are you planning to tell them your life story?
Sim, quando eles estiverem maiores, né? Sim.
Yes.
Eu acho muito importante deles. Eu acho que a minha história teve vários momentos de tristeza, né?
I think it's really important. My story, there's a lot of moments of sadness.
Mas me fortaleceu muito hoje como homem, como adulto, né?
But today, the story makes me strong. Makes me an adult that is strong.
Então, quando eles estiverem maiores mesmo, com certeza a gente vai sentar, vou mostrar os vídeos, fotos. E o quanto a vovó dele lutou, né, foi criativa em alimentar os filhos. Então, tudo isso eu vou, né, contar para eles, né?
So when they get older, yes, I will tell them. I want to sit around the table, show the videos, photos, tell them about their grandma, how strong she was, how creative she was, how she fed us. So yes, I will tell them.
Yeah, cool. I have one more question for you. You also tell in the video that you've been to children's home before. You went to the Hope House. Like, what was so hard about staying at the children's home and that you wanted to go back to the street?
Nos abrigos do governo,
So in the government kind of orphanage,
era muito difícil porque tinha pessoas de várias gangues, né? Tinha a minha e tinha várias gangues ao mesmo tempo.
so it was hard because there was like different groups, different groups on the street, so they would fight.
Então tinha muita maldade durante a noite, né?
So there's a lot of bad stuff happening during the night among the different groups.
Então sofríamos muita violência assim pelo até o supervisor, né? Mas o pessoal que cuidava das crianças.
So it was really hard, even from the staff that would work in there, it was hard for us.
Então, basicamente, a gente tinha medo de precisar abrigo.
So basically, we were really afraid to go to those houses.
Então, eu pensei, será que será mais um abrigo desse, né?
So I was thinking, he's asking himself, is the whole house some of the houses that I have been the same?
Por isso que eu sei, mas eu senti no coração, eu senti uma leveza que ali era uma oportunidade, né?
But when they invited me, I felt really strong in my heart that was a great opportunity.
There's one more question also, and now I think we'll have one or two more, and then we'll end this part. But do you have some recommendations about how to approach people on the streets that have had a hard life, especially people in their 20s and adults?
Uma das coisas que a primeira, né, pedir um direcionamento de Deus, né?
I think first of all, you gotta ask for God's leadership direction.
Que Deus vai estar direcionando, mas ser o mais natural possível.
But the most, be natural, be you, be yourself.
Que a pessoa de rua, a criança de rua, ela se sinta à vontade.
Make them feel at home.
Não, eu não me sentia um coitadinho quando eu ia para atividade com os missionários. Eu não me sentia um coitadinho.
I didn't feel less when I was with the missionaries.
Eu me sentia importante.
I felt like I was important.
Porque eles me tratavam como uma pessoa importante.
Because they treated me as somebody important for them.
Então eles me abraçavam,
so
a gente
they would
brincava.
hug me, they would play with me.
Eles perguntavam o que eu gostava.
They would ask what do you like.
Apontavam o meu potencial, o que era bom.
They would point at what I was good at.
Então, acho que é isso, ser o mais natural possível.
So I think that's it. Be natural, be yourself.
Porque eu não tinha esperança, não me sentia valorizado.
I didn't have hope. I didn't feel I was valued.
E quando eu estava com esse grupo, eu me sentia muito valorizado, me sentia uma pessoa com potencial.
And when I was with the group of missionaries, I felt really special. I felt like I had potential.
Então, acho que é isso, é ter um olhar para essa pessoa, assim, para essa pessoa que está em situação de rua, essa criança, assim, ó, ali tem um potencial, ali profetizar palavras, né, para essa pessoa
It's like to look at them and see the potential and affirm them, like prophesy over those kids, you know, and prophesy the potential that they have.
Really good. Like that answer. I think it'll be the last question, Cicero. What would you say if there's young, middle-aged, old people watching this today? What would you tell them as a good advice in how to invest in other people? It's a little the same as was asked before, but in a little different twist.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Maybe I'm not being clear. What would Cicero recommend people in how to invest into the lives of other people? Is it worth it? What can you do? How can you do it the best?
Não perder tempo.
Not lose your time.
Porque às vezes o que eu percebo é Deus tem colocado um dom, um potencial. Você tem um potencial, né?
Everybody has potential, and I believe that God has given gifts to people.
Então isso pode transformar a vida de alguém.
And this can transform people's lives.
Às vezes é uma palavra,
Sometimes it's a word.
um investimento, até um financeiro nos estudos.
Sometimes it's a financial investment, like in studies.
Tem várias estratégias que Deus pode estar te dando.
There's so many strategies that God can give it to you.
Então, pessoas estão morrendo, né?
People are dying.
E a gente tem uma responsabilidade com essas pessoas, né?
And we have the responsibility with those people.
Então, como eu falei, hoje eu estou aqui porque alguém obedeceu a Deus e hoje eu estou com 100 alunos em um ministério, né?
Like, for example, I'm here today because somebody invested in my life, and today I have a project with around 100 students.
Então, não perca tempo.
So don't miss your time.
Né? Você vai estar investindo em alguém e esse alguém vai estar investindo em 100.
You are investing in somebody, and this somebody will invest in 100.
Né? Hoje eu estava no treinamento com as crianças, tenho 2 ex-alunos que são professores do projeto.
Today I was at the Show de Bola project, and we have 2 volunteers that they're old students from the past.
Eu estou aqui na reunião, eles estão liderando lá.
I am here in the meeting, but they're there leading.
Então isso foi plantado lá atrás, na Casa Esperança, né?
So this is the result of the Hope House back then.
Então o Reich se sente orgulhoso, né, disso.
So I'm sure Reich feels very proud of that.
Porque ele faz parte dessa história.
Because he's part of this story.
Então tá lá o Márcio e o André liderando o show de bola, né?
So there's Márcio and André leading the Show de Bola.
Então tem os alunos que vão ser líderes também.
So we believe that we have students that will be other leaders.
Então quando a gente tem essa visão global, né, fica mais fácil.
So when we have this global vision, it's easy to invest.
Então não perca tempo.
So don't miss your time.
It makes me make one more question to you, Sister. How many times have you, or maybe 2, how many times have you been in Denmark so far?
2 vezes.
2 times.
And what have you done when you have been here?
Então foi um tempo maravilhoso. Eu tive a oportunidade de falar para jovens.
It was a wonderful time. I had the opportunity to talk with the youth.
Então, nas escolas,
in schools,
igrejas.
churches.
Tive a oportunidade também de ministrar um treino às 3 horas da manhã. Meder, né, nossa minha líder aí.
We had also opportunity at 3 a.m. to do a soccer training.
Para um grupo de jovens no acampamento.
With a youth group in our camp.
Então, assim, foi uma experiência maravilhosa.
It was a wonderful experience.
Eu amei aquilo.
I love it.
Eu pude passar um pouco do que Deus está fazendo aqui no Brasil.
I could share with them a little bit of what God is doing here in Brazil.
Então, tive uma hospitalidade muito fera.
I had a great hospitality.
Mas eu senti assim o quanto os jovens, né, estão sedentos também da palavra de Deus, né?
But I also felt how the youth in Denmark was so thirsty for God.
Né? Então, foi um tempo que eu aprendi bastante.
So it was a time that I learned a lot as well.
Tive Faroe Islands também. Faroe Islands, Ilhas Faroé.
He had this. I don't know what it is.
Faroe Islands. E foi um tempo também maravilhoso.
It was a wonderful time too.
Quando eu pude compartilhar sobre como Deus transformou a minha vida.
I could share how God had changed my life.
E o quanto Deus está usando, né, o dinamarquês, a pessoa de Faroe Islands para estar transformando vidas no mundo, né?
And how God is using the people from Denmark and from all of the world to change.
Então, foi um tempo de bastante aprendizagem.
I learned a lot.
E foi aí que começou a nascer no meu coração a questão de sair mesmo, de voltar para a Europa, e não só na Europa, mas na América, para poder compartilhar sobre a minha história, né?
And then I started to have the desire to go abroad, overseas, to share even more with other people my story.
E motivar pessoas a sair em missões.
And motivate people to be in mission.
Então, por isso que eu estou estudando inglês, aperfeiçoando.
So that's why I'm studying English.
Então, e terminando a universidade.
And I got to finish the university.
Mas eu sou muito grato aí pela parceria que a gente tem com a Dinamarca, né?
But I'm really, really thankful for the partnership that we have with Denmark.
Todos com o mesmo objetivo, que é divulgar o reino de Deus.
We all have the same goal, that make the kingdom of God known.
Porque não é uma história de tristeza, é uma história de alegria, de como Deus mudou o meu destino, né?
It's not a sad story, it's a joyful story of how God changed my life.
E como missionário, a obediência a Deus tem impacto.
And as a missionary, we know that obedience has a huge impact.
Very good. Thank you so much, Cicero and Luisi. Thank you. That was a beautiful translation. Really good. It works well. Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah. So now we'll move on to something else.
Yes.
What are we doing in Denmark right now with YWAM?
Well, right now in YWAM, Denmark, we've been working a lot with a movie documentary that YWAM International has released. It's called Fragments of Faith. It's a super good movie that we've been showing to boarding schools and youth groups and having talks with them afterwards about faith, about stepping out into faith and the things that it inspires when we watch this movie.
So I hear that everybody more or less can be a missionary. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But you don't need to have like a special calling on your life?
No, I don't think so. I think we are all called a bit to be missionaries, some in bigger scales of moving out. But as we saw in the movie in the beginning, I'm a missionary, we also saw that some are called to be missionaries in the prestigious universities. So we're not everybody is not called to go to the top of the mountain and freeze their feet or go to the desert and sweat. So I think everyone is called to be a bit missionary.
So if I have a little desire of traveling, adventure, and I look at the Bible and see God is commanding to disciple the nations, that's enough. I can go out and try it out.
That's enough.
That's good. Good to hear. I think we have heard there is a small trailer about faith.
There is.
Fragments of Faith.
There is a small trailer, and I think we should watch it so you guys know what we're talking about.
It's something that you're aware of that makes a difference to everything that you do.
I had a vision that we were at the hospital lobby and white streams of smoke were coming to the native people's mouths, and they had a sense of enlightenment, almost like they changed their posture.
There's a war going on. There's something way beyond the natural realm, what we can see, what we can touch, what we can taste. There's a spiritual world, and it's real.
You're born with all your muscles, but they don't work when you're born. And you have to use them, and then they grow in strength. And faith is the same way.
People stopping us on mountain passes that they say, hey, a team came to my village several months ago and a blind man was healed. And I've been wondering, how do I follow this Jesus?
At one point, I'm just not even watching the road because I don't want to. And it's hot and I'm crammed and I can't move my legs. My camera is stuffed in between me and what's in front of me.
Man, I gave my life to Jesus today or something, man. Like, it was amazing. And they're like, what? He's like, yeah, you should come to church tonight. But they're smoking weed, dude. They don't know, they're brand new.
When the ship came, all of a sudden his family was like, no, 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 you have to see if they can do anything for you.
I got a little GPS ping from one of my friends in at the mouth of the Amazon and said, look where we are. And I looked down and all I could see was green. It was like, but there was a river under there and he was there with his teams on his boat.
What am I supposed to do? How you talk to a killer? And so I just sat next to him and I looked into his eyes, he looked into my eyes, and I'm like, oh dear.
We started sitting on a chair and your hands would move, but your hips couldn't move. It's okay, you can do your cultural stuff outside the church, but when you come to church, this is how you're supposed to be.
There's just battles in your life that nobody knows and nobody fully understands.
I've had people ask me, was there ever a time when you were really tempted to quit? It's silly to even think it now, but I just felt like I should just give up. I couldn't write anymore. This was it.
And I just wept, and I wept for hours.
And I couldn't eat. It's hard to sleep.
Like, everyone has obedience, but it's your choice whether to be obedient or not to him.
That we'd not only obey, but we'd obey for the long term. We'd not only fall in love, but we would stay in love.
That my life, if it's full of faith, that is his fragrance.
And this is why I think we need movies like this. People need to see that Jesus is real for real.
Cool. So that was a small teaser, small trailer for what we've been showing people, what we've been working with, what we are working with, and I think it's an amazing movie to watch. And we've watched it so many times, and I think it'll just keep coming good things out of that movie. Every time I watch it, it highlights a new aspect that I haven't thought of before, and it's just really inspiring to see.
And we'll put a link on. It'll soon come, or there'll be a link on the stream here where you can see where you can find the 35 minutes documentary about missions, Fragrance of Faith. So go in and see it. You just need to register with your email and your name, and then you can see it. And it's we can really recommend it. Really recommend it.
Yeah, and if you watch it and you think it's super cool and you want to hear more about it, maybe even show it to your youth group or anything, I mean, feel free to contact us. We would love to help you do a short seminar with the movie in your youth group, or anyone you know. We would love to do that, walk you through it, talk about some of the things that and the stories that there is in this movie.
We have kind of a full package, eh?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So what's that? What is the full package?
Well, a full package is you can write us and say, hey, I saw the movie. I think it's super great. I want to show it to my friends and maybe even challenge them. And we'll say, that sounds so cool. We want to walk with you. We want to do this with you. So we have a small team, and we'll connect with you on Zoom and show the video to you and your friends. And then we can go into some small groups.
Talk about missions.
Talk about the movie. If you have any questions, we have a lot of staff that is ready to answer all of these questions.
We love to hang out. We love to spend time talking and praying for people. So that could also be an option in one of these. So please just send us a mail to YWAM@YWAM.dk. and just say, we want full package. And then we know what you're talking about. Yes. Yeah. That's really good, eh?
Yeah.
One thing, I've heard this word DTS coming up quite some times now. And Cecil mentioned a little bit more like discipleship training school. Yes. Can we say anything more about that?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it as well. And Andreas mentioned it as well.
I did it too.
You did it too, yeah. And I think it's something that we've all done at DTS. It's a discipleship training school that YWAM runs. And yeah, it's 6 months of full speed ahead, full focus on God, full submersion into his love and just good people to be around. The first 3 months is lecture phase, where there come great speakers and just like pours over wisdom over you and knowledge, and you just sit there completely blown back and don't know what to think almost, and then followed up by another really challenging but really good 3 months of getting out and preaching the gospel and being challenged in some of the things that you've learned through the first 3 months.
So what you say is like a half a year, more or less, eh?
Yeah, it's half a year of investment into yourself. I've heard that's one of the best investments that you can do is to invest in yourself. But it's also investment into Jesus and your relationship with Jesus.
Yeah, and what I hear also, the difference with DTS, if you compare with a normal, regular Bible school, is that you invest into yourself, yes, your relationship with Jesus, but you actually have the opportunity to do different from other people too, eh?
Yeah.
So when you're on outreach.
Yeah, when you're on outreach, you get out and you stand in different situations that is not normal to when you're back home or in your church, and you get challenged. Yeah.
We actually have a common friend that works in Copenhagen, a Dutch guy, do we?
I think we do.
Yeah, I think he has a story about outreach in Brazil, actually.
My name is Rimian. I'm from the Netherlands, and I'm right now in Brazil with the Hands and Feet DTS. And during our lecture phase, one of our teachers said that Jesus is including all the people that are usually not welcome. He's always inviting the people to the party that we would not invite ourselves. And there's this moment a couple of weeks ago where I was walking a brothel with some people of the team, and we were going around to the little rooms and we were praying for the prostitutes. There's this moment where one of the prostitutes says, "Please come in, because I need Jesus." And right there in that brothel, she gives her life to Jesus. And that is such a story for me of Jesus inviting the people that are usually not welcome. And that's what we've been doing here in Brazil, is inviting everybody, because there's always room, there's always more room for people.
Yeah, amazing to hear those stories. And I mean, DTS is huge. You can do it all over the world. I did mine in Paris, and Andreas told that he did his in Townsville in Australia, and
I did mine here in Denmark.
You did yours here, yeah.
Some years ago.
So, a few years ago.
With your dad, actually.
Yeah. That is a lot of years ago.
And we spent a whole winter in a caravan afterwards.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why we are sitting here freezing in the caravan. Eh? It's not really summertime, there's snow outside. But in Denmark, actually, as a Dane or as a foreigner, you can come here to Denmark and do a DTS. The next one is September.
Yes.
And I think it will be amazing. One of the things that people say well about DTS in Denmark is the food. We make some good food, man.
Yeah, that is true. Of staffing here, it's been great food.
But we are blessed with good food. Another thing that I think is really interesting about the DTS coming up is that it's not just in one location. We will have like 5 weeks of lecture phase here at Sjellebo. Beautiful natural surroundings with forest. We have a small stream going through our property. Many options of just meeting God in the nature. Really a good, wonderful place that we have here. But then you also have a capital city as Copenhagen. And we have been blessed with a beautiful place in the center of Copenhagen, downtown. And that's where 5 weeks also will be held, like of the lecture phase. And Faroe Islands, that's something, eh? So that's what we are planning on, to go 2 weeks to Faroe Islands and have lecture phase there.
Yeah, and that sounds amazing. That sounds more diverse than I've heard of before. And I can't wait to see how it will be. And I love being here on the countryside, but yeah, it's cool to be in the city too, and it's good to have those different things, yeah.
And this whole, we are coming to an end tonight, not just because it's cold, but that's one of the reasons too. It's really cold out here. It was a good idea with the caravan. Why did we have that idea with the caravan?
Well, I think because right now we're not able to go out, but we want to be able to move around, to get out to people and see people. And yeah, so when the time comes, hopefully it will be warmer and we'll be able to go places and we can bring this.
Less lockdown, maybe we can go and meet people, give a hug. Eh?
Yeah, we really hope for that.
Yeah. So we are mobile. We are mission and we are making connections. Oh,
Yes.
that was a good phrase. Eh?
That's a good transition,
yeah, but there's also something coming up. No, we don't really know. Have we planned in the future?
No, I mean we saw this Fragments of Faith movie, and I mean we've been working a lot with it. So, do you know the guys that made it?
I've heard about them. Wonder if we could make a mobile mission connection with Fragments of Faith. Would that be possible, do you think?
I mean, we haven't planned anything for next time, so I'm sure that they would love to join us.
Actually, we are not speaking all the truth here. We are saying truth. We are not lying.
Yeah, no.
But we are just making a show. I mean, that's why we are here. Actually, we have talked with the vision carrier for the one that produced the Fragments of Faith movie, and they have said yes already. We don't know exactly who will be in the panel, but the 11th of March 11th, we are going to have same time, same place, hopefully a little warm. At least I'll bring some more clothes.
Bring a bit more clothes, yes.
We are making a mobile mission connection, and we'll connect with the people from Fragments of Faith, and we'll hear their story. Why did they make that movie? And we'll again make available for you to ask questions to them. So if you're studying in a boarding school that had this full package Fragments of Faith Zoom meeting from YWAM Denmark, then you can look forward to this.
Then now is the time to ask them questions, to hear what their vision is with the movie and how it was shooting it, how it was getting all these stories, and what the future brings for Fragments of Faith. Because actually, this is just the first episode out of 5 in total.
Wow.
And I think that they will share a bit more on that the next time.
Yeah. And from now to March 11th, what can you do if you see the movie and you just think this is a wonderful tool for missions? Can you do something? You can give money. We can support it because actually we talk with them and they don't have all the money for all the episodes. So they are really in great need for us to bless them, because we want to see the coming episodes and we want to use them for the sake of recruiting, mobilizing, and sending young people out to missions. So please, if you watch the movie, don't forget to click on the donations if that's something you feel like doing. Yeah, I think that's more or less it for tonight.
Unless we should just quickly take the numbers of the day, or like the fun things for the day.
Oh yeah, we forgot that.
We totally forgot that. Yes, but today is a bit of a. You can start, but today's a special day. There's something special happened.
Probably for a lot of people, but we have just decided 2 people here. There is a Brazilian guy, Sergio Mendes. Oh, is there? Oh, how did that work? That was nice. Sergio Mendes. He's 80 years old today. So we'll just, maybe Cicero, could you just sing a little of the birthday song in Brazilian? Or Louise, maybe she has a more beautiful voice, I don't know. That's fine, you don't have to. That's okay. That was just on it. But we'll just say, happy birthday, Sergio Mendes. 80 years, that's something.
That's something. That's well done.
But you can do something better.
I have something even better, and this is the oldest woman in Europe. She turns 117 today.
That's remarkable, eh?
And when you're 117, you've been alive for quite a while, and
yeah, that makes sense.
And she's actually lived through the First World War, the Second World War, and I think it was in January she was tested positive for COVID-19 as well. So I think that she's been through a lot of bad things, but she fought off the COVID, and she's doing good, or as good as she can.
So we should say, can you say, you've been in France, can you say happy birthday in French?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. I think
just figure something out.
Bonjour. No.
Oh, that was not it, but anyway. So happy birthday for, what's her name? She's none.
She's a 9.
Yeah,
I think that's what they call
But
her.
happy birthday to you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's amazing, eh? 117 years. That's something. Yes, I think before we say too much and too much strange things, we probably should shut down for tonight.
Yes.
But yeah, what a pleasure to be able to be here in the caravan freezing. Yeah, there will be some contact options on the screen at the end of this stream. There will be like YWAM at YWAM.dk, Facebook, both here and in Copenhagen. Yeah, maybe we should just say, you know, Copenhagen, they're doing a wonderful work. They have worship live stream every Monday night from 7 to 8. And I think when we can meet more people in Denmark, then it will be extended and it will not be online. Maybe they'll continue, I don't know. But you can actually come to Soldø Gloria, Knapperstræde 26. That sounded better in Danish, I don't know. I used to say it in Danish, but so you can come there and join, but connect with YWAM Copenhagen on Facebook, connect with YWAM Denmark. That's more our communication tool here out from Sjellebo in Jutland. So yeah, stay connected with us. We would love to come to youth groups. We would love to come out to boarding schools. We would love to come to churches. We want to, together, we just want to build up a momentum on missions in Denmark and out from Denmark. So yeah.
Yeah, and we just want to be relevant and be at service to you guys. We want to serve you the best way that we can with what you need. So yeah, it's been great to spend time with you, and I hope I'll see you next time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things coming up with the Latvia trip and in the summer.
Yeah.
We have family camp.
We have a whole program for the summer as well, yeah. And,
but maybe that's for the next one where we have prepared a bit better, eh?
We should probably prepare, yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll close down. Thank you so much. I would like to pray. Is that okay?
Yes.
It's a mobile mission connection. We can pray. So Jesus, we just bless everyone that have heard the testimony from Cicero tonight. We bless everyone that have heard what has been shared. And we just pray, Jesus, that there will be young people, middle-aged people, old people that have got something turned on inside of them when it comes to missions. Thank you, because we are all called to do missions. We are all called to go out in the world and do a different for other people. So we just bless tonight, and we bless each one that have been listening and will listen to this. So have a beautiful, wonderful night. And now we need to get to a warmer place. Yeah. Bless you.
Bye.
Mobile Mission Connection.